folks. Welcome back to a brand new edition of Bullet Point 716. I'm one of your hosts today, Kevin Misseri. I'm here with Mike Bunt, Rob Ryan, and the coach of the University of Buffalo men's football team, Maurice Linguist. Here for a great edition, action-packed show. Maurice, thank you so much for coming on today. Really great to have you. How have you enjoyed Buffalo so far in your times back in UB?
Hey, Kevin. Hey, Mike. How's it going? Rob, how's it going? It's been really good. Finally getting into a house and getting everything moved. Going from Dallas to Michigan and Michigan over here, and team has been doing really good. And it's been a fast pace but very enjoyable last 3.5 months with this program and this family up here.
Yeah, absolutely. So how are you loving the great Buffalo fall weather so far? I mean, we get a lot of heat up here, but as you know, we can have some great weather this time of the year, right?
Nothing better than summers in Buffalo. It's nice outside. I told our Southern coaches, it's like this every day. Don't worry about it. I said, like this 80 degrees and sunshine. You guys have nothing to worry about. So Coach Carlton, Joe Carlton, our defensive coordinator, he's from Texas. He hasn't been up north a whole bunch. He says, he kind of gave me a look. I said, you'll be fine. Don't worry.
And as we used to joke around with Nate Oates, he used to say, hey, the weather's the same in the gym. So you guys don't quite have that same pitch there on the football field. But, I mean, you have great facilities now. I mean, it's remarkable what kind of workout facilities you have there at UB now. So, can you talk about the change that you've seen just in your time, the first go around under Jeff Quinn to, currently what, the growth of the organization so far? What have you seen from UB football in the last, call it 10 years?
Yeah, Kevin, I think you hit it right on the head. I think the word is growth. You see positive change going on. I think you see it from a practical sense in infrastructure, a brand new indoor facility. It's beautiful. New locker room, new team room. Coaches' offices are extremely nice. And in the wings, in the waiting wings, really our new weight room that's coming down the pipeline. So I think from a structural, tangible, visible standpoint, the aesthetics of Buffalo football has really risen. And I think the change also from just a expectation standpoint as well of walking on the field, expecting and believing and knowing that you got everything that you need to have to go out there and be competitive every single Saturday. From a psychological standpoint, there's growth there as well.
Coach, it's great seeing you again, talking to you again. Just wanted to bring up a quick thing. How has your previous experience at Buffalo helped you with this transition so far? And obviously you're now 2 games into your head coaching career. How are things going, and what's the vibe around everything heading into this Coastal Carolina game?
Yeah, sure. I think anytime, Mike, that you have a familiarity with a place, familiar faces, I think it can only help when you transition. When you come back and you see people that you know and you've seen before. Julie O'Neill, our secretary that works at the front, she was here when I was assistant coach. Got a great relationship with her. John Fuller, who works in our communications, and Paul Peck and Boone, and just people that you've seen before and it helps when you transition. So in that sense, it's really made it smooth. And where we are right now as a program is a strong locker room and strong culture. I mentioned this before when I was first introduced as the head football coach. Nobody in the history of college football, major college football, has really been through and experienced what this team and program really has with, roughly over 100 days when I took the job before we played our first game against Wagner. We're still in the infancy stages of really relationships and culture and development and growth, and you're matching that with the necessity of, hey, we got a schedule in front of us and an expectation to have a really, really great season, and we got to go out there and play at a high level and win these football games and compete our butts off and get prepared every single week. So we are experiencing and going through something that really other programs, just by nature of timing and coaching changes, really don't have to go through. Our guys are handling it very well. Our coaching staff is very experienced. We got tons of Division I football experience from Shane Montgomery, our offensive coordinator, Joe Carlton, our defensive coordinator, Chris White, our special teams coordinator, was in the NFL, came from the NFL. I have, Power 5 and NFL experience myself, and just that experience really takes the edge off of when you have to go through really juggling a lot of moving parts and staying with poise and handling things the right way. Our players, especially our older players, are handling the situation and really growing through the situation really well, of just having a lot of new faces and coaches in front of them. And it seems like we've been together longer than what we really have. So everybody's doing their part. Everybody's pitching in, and we feel like we're in a really strong place. We came off a tough loss over there in Lincoln at Nebraska. We have the ball 14-3 in the fourth quarter. We have the ball and an opportunity to go within one score at a hostile 85,000 sold-out crowd against Nebraska. And probably if you were asking me 115 days ago, if you said, hey, coach, you would be playing at Nebraska down not too much with the ball in your hand, you'd probably say, hey, you did something right. So our guys are playing their butt off. They're competing. We have no moral victories here. We prepare and we plan and play to win. We came up short. We didn't get the win, but we got a healthy, competitive chip on our shoulder, playing with something to prove every single Saturday. And we got a really good Coastal team coming in here that we got to get prepared for.
Hi, Coach. Thanks for joining us. You like to talk about the transition. It's a very unique one that not many coaches do have. So how has the transition been going from the NFL to Michigan, now here as the head boss, all in 1 year, all under the circumstances of COVID? From a personal wise to a coaching wise?
You know what? It's so funny. Nobody's really asked me. That's a great question, because you got to get first. I had to remind myself. Okay, the clock stops on every first down, because in the NFL that thing keeps running. In a 2-minute situation in the NFL, when you knock a guy backwards, the clock keeps rolling. If you knock a guy, backwards and out of bounds, the clock keeps rolling. In college football, as long as he's out, clock stops. From a time management, game management standpoint, there's a lot of intricacies that are just different. So that's that piece of it from a game management standpoint. And then the hashes are, completely different. There's some practical things in the college and pro game that you kind of quickly had to remind myself, and just in practice in summertime and training camp. But football is football. There's a lot of moving pieces from to get a playoff that you really have to go through and coach the details of, quarterback center exchange from a quarterback to a running back, exchange from a quarterback to a receiver. Those elements and aspects of football really don't change. A defensive standpoint, attacking the ball, pursuing the ball, leveraging the ball, getting 11 guys to play together and connected and confident and as hard as humanly possible together. Those elements of ball don't change. And so there's a lot of carryover. There's some things that are from just college to pro game that are different that quickly reminded myself when I got back to the college ranks.
Now, Coach, in the past, you were asked a couple times about your relationship with Khalil Mack and Stephen Means. Obviously, Khalil giving you a nice shout out when he found out that you got the job. Just how important are those relationships? Just talk a little bit about your relationship again with both of those players, and how that can really help you build a program. Obviously, a lot of players in the last couple of years getting shots in the NFL, right. Really on the recruiting trail. I imagine it's a great thing to be able to point out to potential players that you want to bring into UB. Very true, Mike. I mean, we talk about it. Why Buffalo? If I'm a recruit sitting at home, why go to Buffalo? Why not go somewhere else? Well, if you want to get one of the best degrees in the nation, I think we just came in ranked number 32 public school in the United States of America. When you think about combining the academic powerhouse with an athletic Division I big time experience and an opportunity to go and play in the NFL, you start checking boxes, and Buffalo can check all your boxes. You can be a doctor here. You can be a lawyer here. You can be a top engineer here. We have a top-ranked med school. And then we're going to play on ESPN2 this week, and then we're going to go out there and challenge and play with the best of the best. 3 bowl games in the last 2 years. It's a solid foundation of a program. And then the opportunity to really go on and pursue your NFL dreams, goals, and aspirations. Well, go back and look at Khalil Mack. He was the number 5 pick in the NFL. Look at Stephen Means. You look at Brandon Oliver. You look at Joe Licata, who had an NFL opportunity. You look at Kuntz, and you look at a number of guys that have gone on, Jared Patterson, and we'll have our share full of guys this year. So when you start asking yourself as a recruit, why would I go to Buffalo? Well, I can get a top-ranked degree that's up there with the best of the best.
I can get an NFL experience and opportunity. I get trained by a coach that just came from the NFL and knows exactly what it takes to get you there. I sat in the meetings with the NFL GMs and owners, and what conversations are being had, what boxes need to be checked as a player, what's going to make the difference between you making a 90-man and a 53-man roster, and all the details of how to really stick and stay on an NFL roster. Well, I sat in those meetings. I know what those meetings entail. I know what they're going to say about you. I know what you have to show and prove on film. And then we have an experienced coaching staff. And I tell you all those things. I'm going to tell you this. There are some outstanding people in this community in town that I absolutely love. My wife loves them. I have 2 small children, 4 and 2, Mara and Lance, that love being here, that are excited about being here. And, my wife, I'll show you my phone. She texted me the other day. The people in Buffalo are just so nice and so welcoming and so warm. And I just think we check all the boxes. There's not an area of, when you start talking about making major decisions in your life, there's not an area that we don't check, that we can't really touch on, and you can do it all here at Buffalo. So that's why you would come to Buffalo as a recruit.
And Coach, you seem like a tremendous people person, a person that people would gravitate to. Obviously, you mentioned whiteout game this Saturday versus Coastal Carolina. You had a tremendous student turnout for the first game against Wagner. But as you know from your time at UB in the past, sometimes community support has been a little bit of a struggle for this area to really get behind the team. Even with the success in recent years, what efforts are you going to make, I guess, to try to energize the community to come out in larger droves to check out your program? Obviously, it worked what you did with the students last week. But what do you think needs to be done in order to get the whole community on board behind this team?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get on Trainwreck Sports with Mike and Kevin and Rob and give a shout out to the community, shout out to the students, and just say, True Blue, we need you guys. Outstanding job week 1. And then I'm going to coach you guys up and tell you guys, change your best. Make your better. Make your good better. Bring a friend with you. Bring somebody new that didn't come with you to the first home game and tell them about the experience that you had. It's a lively atmosphere. The pep rally that we had on campus right before the season was outstanding. Thousands of students out there. But why come out and support? And I would tell you this, like if you're sitting at home and if you're a student or if you're a parent, and if you're someone in the Buffalo community, why support this team? Well, I'm going to tell you because these young men play not just for ourselves, not for the name on the front. Guys, we play for the community in the city of Buffalo. We play for every single person that's connected to our university, every single person that's connected to the city of Buffalo. We take a lot of pride in that, and representing Buffalo and Western New York, and we need your support. We need people that have histories and traditions and families that have lived here for so many years that have never come out to a game. Come and support us, and I promise you, we will pour back into this community. We really have a saying in our locker room and culture about giving and serving and having a spirit of gratitude, and how much we want to be connected with this city, and how much when we go out there and play on ESPN2, there's going to be somebody sitting at home out in Los Angeles that didn't know a lot about Buffalo, and that's going to watch us on TV. And I want people to see that. I want you to tie yourselves to not just a good football season or not just a good football team, but really to a group of men that collectively want to inspire, that want to bring about a hope and a positive change in this community, that want to continue to pour into the lives of everybody that's connected with this city. And we feel like that football can energize people, can change communities, can bring people together, and we want to be a source of that hope and a source of that excitement for years to come here at Buffalo.
Yeah, and Coach, if you look at it, so I actually attended UB in the early 2000s. Gone are the days where we were excited over a 9-3 win against Temple. We hadn't won in many games in 2006. It was a very exciting time for us to see the growth. Like, hey, maybe this is where Buffalo sports begins to be something different. It was a great time underneath Turner Gill. What can you say, in your opinion, what kind of coach is Maurice Linguist? Like, what are you going to bring to the football team? Like, what do you inspire? Like, as a community member, like, we can go and say, wow, Coach Mo is great at X. Like, what would X be for you? And like, what sets, the program underneath you apart from years past.
Yeah.
For me being excited over a 9-3 victory, and then from where we are today is just to see us ranked last year. I mean, it's been a crazy growth for UB football.
Yeah. Well, if I had to describe myself, I really believe that you really as a coach, you change how you coach when you really understand why you coach. When you tie yourself from really, why do you do anything in your life? Sometimes you can do things for something, but, I coach for someone. I coach for someone's, the young men in the young men in our locker room. I want to pour every ounce of energy I have into them to help them realize their goals, dreams, and aspirations, to help them be the best version of themselves, on the field, off the field, and in their personal lives. I love football. I got a really healthy competitive chip on my shoulder. I think there's nothing like the sport of football that can really test you and challenge you in ways, and it parallels life so much, because on every snap of football, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. Like, we always look at the outcome of the game, but what's so unique about the sport of football is really every time the ball is snapped, you're either winning or losing. And it's really how you respond to those little small individual wins and losses that really make up the DNA and blueprint of who you are. So, I think football can just bring together people in a way that other things can't. And I think collectively, when you got a lot of people that work in the same direction and work together collectively for the same goal, like, anything is possible. Truthfully, anything is possible. I think as Nelson Mandela said that, football or sports speaks to people in a way that only sports can. And I think for 3 hours at a time on a Saturday or on a Sunday when you're watching the Bills, or on a Saturday when you're watching the Buffalo Bulls, it's just a great opportunity to connect and bring about hope and change in a good way.
Bouncing off of that, Coach, you said every single play there's a winner and there's a loser. Going off of that Nebraska game, obviously not the result you wanted, but there were some very nice moments for your team. What did you learn about your squad from that performance, playing 127 degrees on field level and having a chance going into the fourth quarter against the Cornhuskers?
Yeah, we plan and we prepare to win every single week. The intention for us to prepare ourselves is to go travel and win that game. We didn't win the game, right? So you look at the outcome of the game and we didn't win. Okay, then you have to peel back the layers of how and why. Why did we not win? And then how are we going to correct mistakes and build on what we did well to change the result and change the narrative and story for the future games that we have on our schedule. So you look at that game and here are the facts. We had the ball in the fourth quarter, 14-3, with an opportunity to put ourselves really within reach in the fourth quarter against a very good and well-coached Nebraska team. Our offense was 11-22 on third down. You look at 50% conversion rate against a Big Ten opponent. That's a rate that we feel like we can win at. Kevin Marks ran the ball extremely physical, hard, and well. Averaged over 4 yards a carry against a really good Nebraska defense. And our offensive line in 50 drop-back pass attempts gave up 0 sacks. We had some penalties that hurt drives, that stalled drives, that we pointed out to our team, how and why they happened, when they happened, and what, how they affected, our overall play. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you look at, the Nebraska running backs had 31 carries for 106 yards. We want to keep all carriers under 100 yards a game, but the 3 yard per game average is something we feel like we can win with and sustain winnable, a winnable season with. So 31 carries, 106 yards. Now we had a mobile quarterback that we had to face, similar to one that we had that we're going to have against Coastal, that made plays with his legs. So what do we need to do and change to put our players in a better position so a mobile quarterback doesn't hurt us as much as the one did last week? We had 3 missed sacks at the point of attack that really resulted in some big first downs that they converted on, and we gave up really 2 big plays that led to 14 points, which one was the scramble and one was a throw right before the half, and that's how those 14 points occurred. You take away from the game and you say, you know what? When you look at play-by-play, our offensive line and defensive line held their own, and it's a credit to Coach Cole in the weight room and what they did in a very short time in June and July of preparing our players, and then in the training camp months of August of having the right culture and mindset that our players were prepared and really ready for the elements and everything that game gave us. And we could have kept playing. We didn't run out of time. We didn't run out of gas. We ran out of time. So our guys played incredibly hard, and they played for one another. We had mistakes that hurt us. We didn't make enough plays in the fourth quarter, and we lost the game. That's the outcome of the game. And we're going to go right back to the process of what we have to do to prepare ourselves for the rest of the season.
Now, I know we have a little bit of time left here, and I just wanted to ask you about this awesome matchup with Coastal Carolina here at UB Stadium with Grayson McCall and the 16th ranked. They're 16th ranked right now. So what do you see from them that makes them so special? I mean, they run a very unique offense. When I was able to watch them, I mean, it's robust. I mean, I've seen some different run concepts that I haven't seen before. So what do you see from them in this Coastal Carolina matchup? Do you see the 16th best team in the nation? Like, where do you think that you have an opportunity to really put up a great fight in front of an awesome fan base?
Yeah, I think hats off to Coastal. I think they're well coached, well prepared, efficient on offense, explosive on offense. Quarterback Grayson McCall is very dynamic, arm and leg talent, can make plays through the run game, through the air. Dynamic receivers on the outside, really good tight end. Offensive line is pretty tough. Hard-nosed, they know what they're doing, and they've been extremely efficient on that side of the ball. They play very hard on defense, very, very twitchy and talented, long at the front. Linebackers that can run and plug and fill gaps, and cover, and secondary guys that stay sticky in coverage. Special teams been very clean in their operation, flipping the field. So they're a very, very talented and well-coached football team, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. So what do? We go right back to our systematic approach. What do we have to do first? Number one is our play style. How we play the game really starts everything that we do. It's in our blood. There's not an offensive or defensive scheme for us that's above and beyond how we play the game, and we have to win the play style battle. We have to get ourselves in a position to stop a dynamic triple option attack. The dive, the quarterback, the pitch, the loads, the play action off of it. The deep crossing pattern. So we definitely respect everything that they've done and everything they put on film. Coastal hit a number of big plays against Kansas. Were able to move the ball pretty efficiently against a Big 12 opponent, and then they had that first game against Citadel where they were extremely efficient as well there. So, playing a Nebraska offense where there's some similarities with a dynamic quarterback and some of the load option and triple option that Nebraska presented, kind of it helped transition us a little bit into this game. But Coastal it's unique in their own in terms of what they do, and we're definitely putting our heads together, putting our plan together, and preparing ourselves to go out there and play our best Saturday against Coastal on ESPN2. So we're looking forward to the challenge, both psychologically, physically, and mentally, and all the things that presents could be a great test for us to see exactly where we are, and we are preparing ourselves to go out there and beat a very talented team, and definitely respect everything that they do and how they do it.
So this is just a little corny Buffalo question. Are you a blue cheese or a ranch type of guy for chicken wings?
Okay, so I was born at night, but not last night. I know there's only one answer to this question, but I'm not a liar either. So I like ranch. But I respect the blue cheesers. I respect the blue cheese guys. I have nothing but respect and admiration for the blue cheese. All right, but I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I like my ranch.
I respect that. I lived in the Midwest for many years, and I love the ranch too. But in Buffalo, you got to be careful saying that.
That's like when I walked in. I walked into one of the spots, and I think I asked for some ranch. It was like the music stopped. 8 heads.
I do the same thing every time.
It's like,
and Coach, just a few more stupid Buffalo things. Do you have a favorite joint in town, favorite wing spot, or?
Man, you put me on the spot, man. I can't answer that question. And I can't. There's no right answer for that question. All right, I love them all.
Okay.
Elmos, I love you. Anchor Bar, I love you. Bar Bills, I love you. Duffs, I love you. I love all the way.
That's the best answer. Love them all. Love them all.
No, there's no better answer than that. And how about Maniac's question? I mean, Maniac always hits you with some good questions, right? Like in the press conferences. I think what was his question that one time, Mike? What did he ask?
It was something about
the Jordans.
Oh, he asked me about my Jordan. He asked me about the Jordan. He asked me would he be seeing the custom ones on the sideline?
Oh, that's right.
I wore them. I pulled them out. I think he asked me about those. We had those. They weren't made. We had them sent and shipped in. But yeah, that's what Maniac asked me about.
Cool slipping shoes in the Mac.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. This little piece, a little something for everybody out there.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you coming on here, speaking to the community through our platform. It's been wonderful to get to know you, and I mean, what a wonderful opportunity to showcase your Bulls team to the country, really, and just as well as the community this upcoming Saturday at noon. Is there any final thoughts that you could tell the community on any exciting things that you have planned for the team this year? Just any final news or nuggets that you might have to be able to share?
Well, I think just to the community, thank you, number one, for the support that we've received. Thank you for welcoming me and my family, Stacy, my wife, Mara, and Lance, my two children, to the community. We could not be more proud to be here and represent this community. We love Buffalo. I'm from Texas. I've spent a lot of my life in the South, but Buffalo treats me like family, and I appreciate that so much. And I consider Buffalo my family. Our football team is going to work tirelessly. And we're going to have a relentless coaching staff and making connections and letting you guys know how important you are, and then going out there and performing well at a high level and making you proud of us. So to the city of Buffalo, Western New York, to the University at Buffalo students and alumni and supporters, thanks for having me here. Thank you for all you do. And we look forward to paying you back with all your hard work and efforts through what we do on the football field on Saturdays and with some midweek action games coming up as well. And just keep thank you for everything you do. Keep supporting us, guys, and we're going to keep pouring back into you. Thank you.
And thanks, Coach, for coming on to our show. It's been great as always. But everyone, stay tuned for Coach Mo to take us to that MAC championship. What a wonderful squad they have building there. Great on the recruiting trail already. Great news coming out for next year as well. So, Coach, thanks for coming on the show. And for everybody else, thanks for tuning in to this great edition of Bullet Point 716. Good night now.